It's time to break down some football.
We got to get our mind right. Touchdown, win.
From the perspective of guys who played in the NFL.
Caught, touchdown!
And a guy who had one really great sack in high school.
Oh, you're so weak. You're a waste of my time.
Greg Camarillo and Marcus McNeil are the pros. And Skraby is the Joe.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Two pros and a Joe starts right now.
Well, you know, I just have to explain how I ended the last episode because I was just trying to say, I was thinking of a way that Antonio Brown could outdo himself, which would be to take off his pants.
That's what you went to. There you go.
And then I realized the visual was not good because
not good because he doesn't have pants on.
Exactly. Exactly. There's nothing on underneath that, I don't think.
Oh my God.
So I take it back. Please.
Please,
no one quote me on that.
Please.
Episode number 52 of Two Pros and a Joe. I'm Skraby, and apparently I want Antonio Brown to take his pants off. That is Greg Camarillo, 8 years in the NFL at wide receiver. Marcus McNeil, 6 years in the NFL at left tackle, blocking for Phillip Rivers. And in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the different hot seat people in the NFL, whether that's a player or whether that's a coach. We're going to talk about the Rams and Matthew Stafford. He has not been playing well. They did get the win on Sunday. Odell Beckham Jr. did punch someone in the asshole, like asshole. He did. You know what I'm talking about, Greg?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He Chuck Clark intercepts it. And I know AD didn't mean to do it. He was trying to punch the ball out, but I'm pretty sure he connected with the starfish.
Scrapes, man. We left that in the last episode.
I know.
Oh,
We'll talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the MVP voter that hates Aaron Rodgers. So let's get into it real quick. twopros@joe.com. One person that probably wishes they didn't say anything on Sunday would be that of the head coach of the New York Giants, Joe Judge. He has had some issues as of late with his team. They cannot score. They're terrible. And Joe Judge was asked about it in his job security after the game. And he goes on this weird rant and tangent about things. Here is his post-game press conference. And let's see if you understand it.
Now, you guys ain't been in the building for 2 years now with this coach. All right, but I'll tell you right now. All right, if you're in the damn building, you walking through our locker room, you ain't seeing that crap you saw before. All right? You ain't seeing guys right now planning vacations. You ain't seeing golf clubs in front of players' locker. You ain't seeing that stuff. Okay? You ain't seeing that. All right? And that's not because of some high school program we're cracking whip. It's because our guys understand how to play together as a team. And they understand the process of how they're going through. So I can go through a whole X's and O's evaluation. I can go through a roster evaluation. I can go through a lot of things for you right now, okay? I do it every day myself. I go through all that stuff. But in terms of the next step to take, I can tell you right now, okay? I know we're a whole lot closer to where we're going than we are further away. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you we got more players here who are going to be free agents next year, all right, who are in my office every day begging to come back. I know that, okay? I know that. Or players that we coached last year that still call me twice a week talking about, you know, how much they wish they were still here even though they're getting paid more somewhere else. Okay? So I know we've got the right foundational pieces in. I know we have some players, some key positions, all right, that are guys you can build with, keep carrying on. All right? I know we got the right temperament.
That's basically it. I just wanted to get in the fact that he was bragging all over the place that there are players that just can't wait to get into the New York Giants uniform, even though they've won like 2 games, like they've won like, I should know this, 5 or 6 games in the last 2 seasons. They've barely scored any points in the last month. Joe Judge is slowly looking like an idiot. And he's sitting up there saying that people are begging to be a part of the New York Giants. Who the hell is trying to be a part of the New York Giants? It's not me. I know that. But I think Joe Judge, even though the Giants gave him the dreaded vote of confidence, I think he is definitely on the hottest hot seat. I think they're going to fire him because the fans hate him so much.
I mean, the BS meter is through the roof First of all, when you're 4-12 and you got 1 week left in the season, everyone has vacation plans. There's not a single player that doesn't know what they're doing. Big Mac, did you ever plan any trips before the season was over?
What? Come on now. Like, if you're an East Coast guy, the bye week was always an interesting week because, like, coming from the West Coast, you're always trying to get out of practice by 12 because the last flights going back to the East Coast are like 1:55 or 2 o'clock. So it's like you're sitting there like 11:30, knowing that you got like a 1 o'clock flight, like just like come on. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the end of the year, no, I never really had any end of the year plans initially, you know, and that's usually because we were planning on going to the playoffs for most of my years.
Oh, I like that.
I had the opposite experience. So after our 1-15 year in Miami, the next year we started out 0-2. I was like, oh shit, here we go again. And then we were 2-2. It was like, okay, let me hold off. And then we were 2-4. I booked a trip to Panama.
2-4.
Bought the tickets. First week after the season, had tickets.
Bro.
Like, that was my break. Like when practice was shitty, I'd come home and I'd like look up hotels in Panama, and it would make me come to find out we made the playoffs that year. We went from 2-4, made the playoffs when I was supposed to be in Panama. I had a torn ACL, so I had a doctor's note. I got my money back on the flights. But I mean, every time I thought we were playoff done, I booked flights. Absolutely. 100%.
Well, I'm saying this as a Joe, but it makes sense. I mean, you were used to being on a bad team, and Marcus was used to being on a team that was good. And so it's probably a completely different mindset. But Joe Judge to sit there and tell us that people are begging to be a part of his organization.
That's saving
calling
face.
him twice a week to say, I still wish I was on your team.
That's saving face right there. That's
Dan Orlovsky on ESPN said, the only guy I could think of that left your team, Wayne Gallman.
I'm looking at this free agent losses from 2021. A center went to the Titans. He's happy. A guy went to the Patriots. He's happy.
Yeah.
A tackle went to the Broncos. I'm assuming he's playing. Gallman's with the Niners. Colt McCoy's in Arizona. He's happy. Linebacker, Chargers. Like, there's all these guys that are going to teams that are winning. No one is calling him.
Yeah.
Well, the Giants have said they're going to bring back Joe Judge. They said they're going to bring back Daniel Jones. They're going to run it back in 2022. Saquon Barkley, hopefully he can get healthy. Giants are a mess. Giants fans are very upset with everything that's happening, and I don't blame them.
Well, the salary cap, they have no choice. They have to keep rolling with what they've got, and if you're not going to add new players, you may as well just say, fuck it, one more year with this coach and see what happens.
Another coach that is rumored to be out the door already is Matt Nagy of the Chicago Bears. He is supposed to be fired after this week's game, the last game of the season. He probably will be fired, but they're also rumored to be keeping the general manager, Ryan Pace. And I don't understand that move whatsoever because these two, what's the word I'm looking for? Smart gentlemen decided to trade their future for Mitch Trubisky. I think once you make that mistake, you shouldn't be the general manager of the team anymore. You traded your future for him. Now you got Justin Fields, and they're saying that he picked up Cole Kmet, who's a guy who is playing well, and some other guys are playing well. I think a general manager, for the most part, a general manager and a head coach are probably going to be fired together if they're going to be fired. I do. That's just me, though.
I just think that the Chicago Bears have underachieved with what they've had. You know, making the signing, like bringing in Khalil Mack, you know what I'm saying, to kind of solidify that defense. And then, you know, having so much disparity at the quarterback position, like just shows indecisiveness from a head coach and GM position. So if you're going to make a move, I could see you getting rid of both of them, you know, just based off of some of the moves they made in the past. They just weren't smart moves.
They're not smart moves.
I can't defend Ryan Pace as a general manager, but he was the acting general manager in New Orleans when I was there because of Bounty Gate. Mickey Loomis, their general manager, was suspended. He was like the nicest GM the only nice GM that I think I've ever had, which probably doesn't bode well for being a good GM. But I was cut like every 2 weeks. They'd bring me in, take me away. And I had a pregnant wife at home, and he would ask me, hey, you want to hang around this week or do you want to go home? And it's the only person I've had that will be straight out honest with me. Like, look, Greg, we don't need you for 2 weeks. We're going to cut you. We'll bring you back in 2 weeks. Every other coach would say something like, hey, we got to cut you. Stay in town. We might need you in a couple of days, and just leave you on the edge. So I got to give love to Ryan Pace for at least being honest, but I can't defend it, what he's got going on.
This is what I love about the podcast, because I stumble into talking shit about someone that's been personally nice to one of you.
Yeah, I mean, but nice guy. Some of the nicest coaches I've had have been the worst effing coaches I've ever been around. Nice guys don't mean good leaders.
Yeah,
nice guys finish last.
But, I mean, they don't always, but like, no one has ever said Belichick is nice. No one has ever once said Belichick nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. So yeah, Nagy, poor guy, he's gone.
They got to blow that up, man. But
you know what's gonna happen? The Chicago Bears are gonna ruin it again.
Fields looks good though, man. Like he's shown enough where they could build around that.
I believe it. I agree with that.
Hey, I think Matt Rule needs to go in Carolina.
Yes, I agree. Matt Rule. That's a good one to add to the list. Matt Rule. What did he do? I mean, he had a couple good seasons in college, and then they bring him into the pros. He's won 5 games twice, like 2 seasons in a row. I don't understand it. And I don't also understand these coaches that are like keep bringing in quarterbacks. Like Matt Rule had Teddy Bridgewater, and then they brought in Sam Darnold, and they brought in Cam Newton out of necessity, but it's like you can't keep bringing in quarterbacks and expecting for people to be like, well, it's just a quarterback. No, it's going to go on the coach at some point.
Yeah. I mean, the quarterback position is such a tough position, though. It's either hit or miss with a quarterback. You know, very rarely do you have those generational talents or those guys who are going to come in and produce for you, like a Justin Herbert, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or what's my boy at Cincinnati? Or Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow,
you know what I'm saying?
Joe and Jamar. We got to come back to that.
Because like for every one of those you have like a Tua a situation going on, or you have a Trevor Lawrence who's stuck down there in Jacksonville. So like you never know. Like you really do roll the dice on quarterbacks.
You do.
We talked about nice coaches. Can we talk about mean coaches and transition to Zimmer?
Of course.
And his quote this last week.
We'll get that going.
Oh man.
Yeah. Please give it.
You know what I miss from in real life that football gave me that real life doesn't give you is brutal honesty. And that's exactly what Zimmer delivers.
So Mike Zimmer, head coach of the Vikings, he's had some tough years. I mean, he's been the coach for 8 years or something like that. And I think he is a good coach. He just can't get over the hump. But on Sunday night, which we need to get into this, Kirk Cousins he's an unvaccinated player. He missed the game. And we talked about it last week with Legadoo on episode number 49. And I know that Greg had his thoughts. Marcus had his thoughts. And side note, I think that Kirk Cousins, the highest paid player on the team, you have a responsibility to be there for your team. And he wasn't there for his team.
How about them letting Carson Wentz play just to say, fuck it, Carson Wentz needs to play? They abandoned all the rules. They were like,
oh, yeah, they did.
Don't cough for 20 seconds and you can play.
Okay,
so back to Mike Zimmer. They
Let's
lost
sit somebody else in there.
Yeah.
This is Carson Wentz.
Is that you?
Test him. Yeah, this is.
They're like, we're going to turn around for 15 seconds and you're going to take this test and you're going to put it in this thing.
Oh, man, straight out the ice bath. Let me check your temperature. Oh, you're good, buddy.
Oh, he's good. He's 76.5.
Sir, that's dead. You're actually legally dead. So Mike Zimmer, he had to start Sean Mannion, who never started a football game in his life, who I've never heard of either. Who has never thrown a real professional pass before. And he's trying to, in the cold 10 degrees, and he's trying to get the Vikings into the playoffs.
I can't tell you how much harder the game of football is when it's 10 degrees outside.
Oh my god,
it is fucking rough.
I'm sure it is, because Aaron Rodgers said he loves it because the pass rush slows down.
Yeah.
So
everything slows down.
Man, all right, we'll get to Zimmer. I can't have too many tangents. Go Zimmer. Click.
Okay,
click.
go Zimmer. He drafted a rookie quarterback, Kellen Mond, and they were saying you have nothing left to play for. And here's his press conference. And listen to the end because this is so brutal.
Love it.
Do you think you want to get a look at Mond next week?
Not particularly.
Mike, why don't you get a look at him?
I see him every day.
That's so brutal. It's so brutal.
It's the best.
I like this so matter of fact. Here it is one more time.
Mond next week?
Not particularly.
Not particularly.
It just stops, period. Like, I don't want to explain
Not particularly.
Yeah, he doesn't want to explain it. And then they ask him, well, is there any reason you don't want to see him? Well, I see him every day.
I see him every day.
Oh, man.
If I'm Kellen Mond, what am I feeling like? Am I feeling like, holy shit, my head coach hates me? Or is that a fire building?
No,
it depends on him, but this is exactly
what knows.
He already knows. Like,
this is exactly what Sproles talked to us about, though. Sproles told us the story of the coach telling him he wasn't going to be a good running back, and that lit a fire. I mean, I don't know Mond, but I certainly hope it lights his fire, because otherwise that shit is depressing.
Because Mike Zimmer, he's on the hot seat. He definitely is on the hot seat. I mean, he's had that team for 8-9 years, and they've gone to the NFC Championship.
But the kicker that one time, that missed that against
the Seahawks, in the playoffs, and that was also
Kirk
like
Cousins.
A negative 6-degree day.
Oh, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I've been out there. That shit sucks.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Miserable.
It is rough.
Do you guys think, because I saw a report that Mike Zimmer's they're ready to part ways. Let's ask this question. When is it time to move on from a head coach like Mike Zimmer, who is a good coach, who has success, but he doesn't take you to that next level? When is it time for an organization to move?
When the team has lost belief that that's the guy that can take them to the Super Bowl. If the team doesn't believe in him, it's got to go.
Spot on.
And what do you think the Vikings feel right now?
They need to get rid of Kirk Cousins and get somebody better.
Well, they can't because they've given him the world.
Can't. And
I think that might also get Mike Zimmer fired, is because he's signing off on some of these decisions to guarantee Kirk Cousins $90 million.
I don't think he has control over that. But it's also who else there was no one else available. And I would love Kirk Cousins over the QB carousel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kirk Cousins, they actually have a good team. Like, if you look at the Minnesota Vikings, they beat some good teams this year. You know, I think if 2-3 more games go their way, they're in the playoffs. So I think possibly like you ride it out and see if you can make that team gel, because they're one of those teams, like, they kind of remind me of the Tennessee Titans a little bit, you know, like, they're close, you know what I'm saying, but they're not quite there yet. And Tennessee was that team where they were close, but it seemed like this year before Derrick Henry got hurt, and they're still rolling pretty good now, that, you know, that they're right there as one of the better teams.
By the way, Derrick Henry is supposed to start practice this week.
Oh, that's a great question. With the fact that if you win, you get a bye, do you put Derrick Henry out there early, possibly earlier than expected? Because if you lose and you play the next week, if you win, you get a week off and you're in the second round of the playoffs. If Derrick Henry is like almost ready but not quite there, do you put him out there?
Shit, me, I'm not putting him out there. I don't care.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I
agree. Like, because he hurt his foot, right?
He broke his foot. Yeah,
he broke his foot.
I take as much time as possible, man.
Yeah,
we'll get you in the playoffs.
Yeah, we really, if I'm a coaching staff and a team, I've already dealt with that mentally, where it's like, all right, we have to figure out how we can make this season work without Derrick Henry. And the fact that the back that they have, I'm losing his name right now, but he actually done had 300-yard games in the last 5 games. So,
I know who you're talking about.
He's rushing the ball pretty good. Yeah, I can't think, but is it Foreman or something?
Deontay Foreman, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the fact that he's rushing the ball well, I just don't think you put that many chips into the pot, for this year.
They also are playing the Texans.
They are,
which is a little different than playing a team that doesn't have their vacation plans already set.
Yeah.
The Texans are playing some okay football.
They're playing
these days.
Yeah. No, they've played some decent football because they got a Stanford guy at quarterback.
Is that right? Is that right?
It all comes back full circle. Yeah.
Last one. Everybody's talking about it. I personally think Baker Mayfield is getting the short end of the stick here. Dude played with a fully torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder all season long. He's been through COVID. The Browns themselves have been through a lot this year. So people are saying that he's going to be shipped out of Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, people are very mad at him as well because he is not using the run game. Coaches do this. We're a run first team. And then I see them passing the entire game and Nick Chubb sitting on the sideline, and I don't understand it. But I don't think Baker Mayfield should be, quote unquote, fired from his job. I think he needs one more shot. Yeah.
I think he will, because next year he's due 14 or 15 million for his salary.
Yeah.
You're not going to find anything close to that level of talent for that money. He could be making $30 million, and then it's a real debate. But for 15, I'm going to roll the dice one more year and see what I can get out of you, because it's 15 mil. Like, I can go spend that extra 20 million on somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, look at where they're coming from too. Like, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. This is
one of the worst teams.
This is a notoriously bad team over the past 20 years. And now you've drafted a quarterback to be your franchise quarterback, and he's brought you to a playoff caliber team. And like you said, their DNA is a running team. Like, even with Baker Mayfield, like, he's a quarterback that can run the ball as well. But you have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, who are probably, top 10 backs in the league right now, who need to be that workhorse for you. So this definitely doesn't fall all the way back on Baker Mayfield. And they have a good defense. They have a great defensive line. You know what I'm saying? They have weapons on offense, you know what I'm saying, as well as their running backs, with a good tight end and also, good receivers in Landry. I say you get one or two more pieces and they keep on trying to plug away at this chip too.
Yeah. I think fans are just too quick to give up on players. And I used to be that guy. But the more I think about football, the more I talk to you guys about football, you just can't give up on people just like that. It's like all the fans that want to give up on Jimmy G. Jimmy G has won the 49ers a lot of games, or at least been the starting quarterback that has been credited with the win in a lot of games. So you don't win in the NFL if you're terrible.
Yeah.
He does get hurt a lot. Hurt a lot. Another NFC West team. I know we got a couple more things we got to get through real quick. The NFC West, the Rams, they went to Baltimore. Chuck Clark again got his asshole punched by Odell Beckham Jr.
Damn it, Skraby.
Starfish.
So can we for the people that didn't see the video, OBJ it was an interception. He wanted to try to knock the ball out from behind, so he punched at the ball and just missed and got ass
right into it. So
good form though. Nice solid uppercut.
Here's what I'll say about Odell Beckham Jr. because I wrote in our notes, I said, right, the question I asked was, could he be the ticket for the Rams to go to the Super Bowl? And I think that he could be the ticket to go to the Super Bowl for the Rams. All that tells me is that he did not try his hardest in Cleveland, because you don't all of a sudden find talent in LA when you are, he's had 4 touchdowns. I think he's had some good games, but like, I just don't like when guys give up. I just don't like it when guys give up on teams.
But Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Like,
have you seen his stats on the pick sixes?
I'm saying, like, just as far as like mechanics, like a quarterback, like Matthew Stafford's like a quarterback. Baker Mayfield's more like an athlete playing quarterback.
Okay, I get that.
So the other thing is, you got to keep a diva happy. If a diva is happy, you're fine. Point my case study. Damn, I haven't done a case study in a long time.
Case study.
Case study.
Oh,
Randy
man.
Moss in Oakland was a effing disaster.
Terrible.
As soon as he touched ground in New England, that dude was a monster.
He was a money again.
Thank you, hype man. I appreciate that.
Hey, you came with the case study. You got to be
hype. Here's from Lindsay Theory. She covers the Rams for ESPN. She tweeted on Sunday, Matthew Stafford has thrown 4 pick sixes this season. Jared Goff threw 4 pick sixes during his 5 seasons with the Rams.
All that tells me is Jared Goff's a better tackler.
Okay. Oh, so okay. Yeah,
but don't get me wrong.
So he may have thrown the pick, but he wasn't going to let him score.
Or he threw a pick way further down the field. Something.
Well, I do think that Matthew Stafford has been showing. Maybe he's hurt, but I do think
he has a problem. You're 100% right. He has a problem
because he's not as good right now.
He has the last 2 weeks. He has 3 picks in each game. He has a problem that must be fixed immediately because that'll cost you a game in the playoffs.
Yeah, it will cost you a game.
I don't know what the Rams are going to give me. I don't know. Some weeks they come out, look like they can't be stopped. And other weeks they come out and look like just another team,
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Yes, I do got to give love to their GM, Les Snead, because the 2 guys that made plays to save the game, OBJ and Von Miller, are both guys picked up mid-season. If they don't pick them up, they probably don't win that game. So that shit was outstanding.
Here's the as Barstool Sports is calling it, the gooch punch. OBJ with the rare gooch punch. But here,
and now Stafford gets to take a deep shot, looking for Beckham.
They're picked off.
Again.
Punches him right in the ass.
My man pops right up too.
Put some fire in his ass. That's why.
Does he get tackle credit for that? For punching?
I think he did.
Yeah, that's tackle credit. He got credit for a tackle right there.
That was Chuck Clark's second interception of the game. I was watching that live and I was like, did he just punch him in the butt? You can find that on Twitter. If you just type in OBJ butt punch or something like that, you'll be able to find it easily. Next thing,
bad results if you start Googling that.
Yeah, actually, don't Google that. And actually do Google that and just tell me what happens. I don't want to see it.
Drinks popping up.
Spyware. You got all kind of bad stuff.
Yeah, butt punch probably isn't the best Google term. Probably is not. So Aaron Rodgers, I think he's probably going to win MVP for the second year in a row, even though he's had a lot of weirdness around him all season long. Do you guys have any problems with saying that Aaron Rodgers is probably the MVP?
No.
I think Cooper Kupp deserves it, man. Like,
I agree to a point.
So I heard this on the radio today about that. If you're going into the Super Bowl and the coach said, I can either take Stafford away or I can take Kupp away, which one are you going to want in the game? You'd much rather have Stafford than Kupp, at least I think. And to me, that tells you his value. The MVP is a quarterback for a reason almost every year, because that's a valuable position, a more valuable position.
But I think whenever you put up the type of year he's putting up, like he's like what, a little less than 200 yards under Calvin Johnson's like almost 2,000 yard season.
Yeah,
130.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like bro, like he is ridiculous right now. And to me, it's like I just get sick of quarterbacks always winning the MVP.
Me too.
I'm sorry, like there are other players out there that are absolutely probably the best players on the field, but because they don't get the recognition, they never get a chance to be MVP. I will take back my MVP pick for my boy Diggs, though. Trayvon Diggs from Dallas, because I said a couple of weeks ago. He had so many interceptions, but I didn't realize how bad he was getting burnt too. Like
he's given up over 1,000 yards.
No, it's the secret. So, all right, if you are a dominant DB, they don't throw the ball to you, so you can't get interceptions. Well, he's like, shit, loophole. I'm gonna give up with the thousands of yards, but then they'll throw me the ball and I'll get picks. It worked. He got a Pro Bowl. He's good.
I give you at least 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? 50-50 balls. You know what I'm saying? Like I go halfway.
So back to the Aaron Rodgers MVP mess at hand. Well, There's a writer out there. His name is Hub Arkush. I thought his name for the longest time until today was Hal Barkish, but it's not. It's Hub Arkush.
He looks like a Hub Arkush.
He does look like a Hub Arkush. You were absolutely right. But he has an MVP vote. There's only 50 votes for the NFL MVP. And Hub Arkush, I hate that name now. You're not supposed to put your personal feelings into your MVP vote. But he was on 670 The Score, and they asked him about his MVP vote. Here is what he said about Aaron Rodgers.
Do you have an MVP vote this year, Hub?
I do. Yeah, I'm one of the AP. There's 50 of us who vote, and I am one of us.
And did you reveal that you're not voting for Aaron Rodgers? Is that correct?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I've been pretty consistent about that all year. I don't think you can be the biggest jerk in the league and punish your team and your organization and your fan base the way he did and be the most valuable player. Has he been the most valuable on the field? Yeah, you could make that argument, but I don't think he is clearly that much more valuable than Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp or maybe even Tom Brady. And so from where I sit, the rest of it is why he's not going to be my choice. Do I think he's going to win it? Probably. A lot of the voters don't approach it the same way that I do. Others do, who I've spoken to. But one of the ways we get to keep being voters is we're not allowed to say who we are voting for until after the award has been announced. I'm probably pushing the envelope by saying who I'm not voting for.
You know what's probably pushing the envelope, Hub, is your personal feelings being a part of your vote. And I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy. I don't like him. He beats my team a lot. But at the same time, even I know that Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of the league.
I don't like Tom Brady. He's the best football player ever.
Yeah.
Marcus, you got anyone you don't like, but you have you want to tell us who you don't like?
I think Bill Belichick might be the only person who I don't agree with. And I won't say I don't like him, but I told y'all about the story of the Pro Bowl. He made me go one-on-one pass rush at the Pro Bowl. I'm like,
oh, yes.
Like, bro, we out here chilling. I'm off of 10 Mai Tais right now. I could barely see straight. You
Not the night before. 10 Mai Tais before, right?
Hub
ridiculous, man. It's not. We have the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Don't vote Aaron Rodgers for that. But
MVP.
It has nothing to do with personality.
I like how they're like, "Do you have a vote, right?" And he's like, "I do have a vote, and I take it very seriously. My name is Hub Arkush, and I think he's the biggest check in the league. So I'm not going to give it to him because
great voice right now. What in the Pixar just happened to me right there? You said
what the Pixar? That was Hub Arkush. That was Hub Arkush. I do have a vote, and I'm probably pushing the limits of my voting.
Graves is going to go into the bar and tell ladies, I do a great Hub impression. You want to hear it?
They're like, who?
I do a great
Hub Arkush?
You can't say that at a bar. You're going to get locked up.
They're going to be like, what are you going to do to me? You're going to Hub Arkush me?
OBJ me?
Oh, yeah, I'll take an OBJ. Whatever. I don't know what the O stands for, but I know what the BJ stands for. Let's move on.
Man, the Gooch Punch.
The Gooch Punch. The fuck is
what the fuck are we doing right now?
I have no idea, but I'm not okay with this. So Brandon Eccles, a Jets rookie corner, he picked off Brady in the game on Sunday, and then he had Tom sign the ball after the game. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I don't think you should be going up after the game in your pads asking Tom Brady to sign your ball. Maybe after, go bring it to the locker room or something like that. But on the field, you guys have any problems with this?
Love it.
Bro, I was actually impressed on how thorough he was and efficient with getting the ball to Tom Brady.
Oh, he was ready
to sign it mid-stride, you know what I'm saying? In, out. The little, pat on the back and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
That was first degree signage right there. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Eccles he's gonna, on a Sunday, he's gonna take his grandkids and pull them up to the couch, Say, you see that guy still playing right there, the 80-year-old? I picked him up back.
He probably will be 80 and still
You see
playing.
that guy in the wheelchair right there? The wheelchair.
I picked his ass up.
Yeah. You see that guy on the IV throwing 40-yard bombs down the field?
You see that guy throwing the ball with a joystick? You don't see him throw it no more. They don't make him throw it anymore.
You guys changed my mind. I think Tom did comment on it, and he says that he never usually does this. He didn't. I don't think he, like Marcus was saying, it was an efficient process.
Yeah, it probably didn't register.
But he doesn't like, Tom said he doesn't like signing mistakes, that's an interception. Which, I'm kind of with you there too. But
yeah, relax, man.
At least he signed it and everything. And this is all happening while Tom's probably like, "Where's Antonio? I still don't see Antonio."
Anybody see? He's still looking for Antonio.
He checks his phone on Twitter. He sees that AB tweeted, "I'm super gremlin."
Super gremlin. All
you guys got any defucks? Kind of a low.
I mean, AB was the fuck.
That was I
think he started off our whole last episode with the fuck is going on.
Episode 51 is dedicated to an entire the fuck.
I'm with that. I like that.
You're with that. All right. Well, we have the final regular season week of the year, and then we're going to get going in the playoffs. There are some big matchups coming up this weekend. I know the 49ers have to win, and they're in. There are a couple other teams that need to win to stay in their playoff spots. There's the Chargers are fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, Sunday night.
Let's talk about that real quick, because there is a crazy little caveat to this game. So if the Titans lose to the Jaguars earlier in that day, then all the Raiders and the Chargers need to do. No, I thought they're playing the Jags. Titans are playing the Jags. Well, they're playing a bad team.
Yeah, sorry. I probably anyway. Keep going. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. I got you.
No, you're right. They are playing the Texans. I don't know where I got the Jaguars from, but they're playing the Texans. So the Titans lose to the Texans. The Chargers and the Raiders, all they have to do is tie, and they're both in.
No, that's why you got division opponents playing late. There would never ever be a deal like that.
That is the deal.
But the good, no. I mean, you would never tell a coach, "Hey, let's tie." The beautiful thing about that is, if it is tied, well, I shouldn't say beautiful. If there's 30 seconds left and you're tied, and you know the Titans already lost, you run the ball
or kneel it.
You don't try to score. If I know a tie gets me into the playoffs, I'm good with that.
Instead of risking a loss or maybe a turnover is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the wrong team. It's not the Titans. It's the Colts who are playing the Jaguars. If the Colts lose,
gotcha.
If the Colts lose, that's how it all goes. And then the Colts are out.
Do you have any clue what a tie does for the placement, the ranking of the Chargers versus the Raiders?
If they do a tie game?
If the Colts lose and those two tie, who's ranked higher?
Then the Chargers should be, because they won the earlier game this year, I'm thinking.
Let me show you. There's this.
That would affect my decision. If I knew like I had to go to Kansas City versus I had to go play somebody else, that would affect what I do with the football.
All right, I have the NFL playoff machine from ESPN up. Now, what were you saying? The
Colts lose.
Colts are going to lose to the Jaguars, and then
the other two tie.
And then these guys tie. It puts the Chargers at 6, and it puts the Raiders at 7. The Colts are out.
So if I'm the Raiders and I know that, and I have to go play Kansas City, hell no. I'm going to try to win that game.
I got to win that game.
Yeah.
And if the Raiders win, they beat the Chargers. They're the 6th seed. They play the Bengals.
Yeah.
If the Chargers win, they play the Bengals, basically. And that also means that Pittsburgh ends. So the Steelers still have a chance if the Chargers and the Raiders tie.
Yeah. So if I'm the Chargers, I'm cool with a tie. If I'm the Raiders, I'm not. It's not happening.
And then my 49ers, they need to win. Look at this. Look how much the 49ers change everything. I'm on the ESPN playoff machine. Google it; it's amazing. But you choose. You choose the. I spent 45 minutes the other day just doing different combinations.
Just clicking different combinations.
Because you basically choose the team that you think is going to win, and it changes the playoff matchup. So the 49ers win. They're a 6 seed. If the Rams win that game, the 49ers are out, and like 4 other teams switch around.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
There's a lot of Niner haters out there this week, Scrapes.
I know. But the Chiefs, Bengals still can get the 2 seed. If the Titans lose to the Texans, there's a ton of different type of scenarios. This is my favorite time of the year is playoff time.
Jamar Chase just joined my list of amazingly sexy receivers.
Bro, he is a game changer, man.
Can I call 2022 the year of the receiver after what happened in the Rose Bowl with old boy and 350-something yards?
Oh, Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Yeah, that shit was amazing. Like, absolutely amazing.
300-something yards.
And then Jamar Chase pulls off 266 in the NFL. Oh, man. Receivers.
Only rookie to have 2 200-plus receiving games in the season.
Hey, that first catch he had where he caught it like midfield and turned on the jet.
Oh, God.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
That was beautiful. That I'm talking about.
You know what? I've been playing Mario Kart with my kids. That dude got a mushroom.
I'm sure he does.
That is a great game. That is an all-time classic. Way to go.
I do love Mario Kart. And because if you look at that Jamar Chase pass, you're right, Marcus. He catches it. He's got like 7 guys around him. And then all of a sudden he takes 3 steps and he's 5 yards in front of them.
It's gone,
amazing.
bro.
Oh, it was amazing.
That is amazing. All right. That is it for episode number 52 of Two Pros and a Joe. Make sure you go to twoprosandajoe.com. Make sure you share it at 2 Pros and a Joe on Instagram, Twitter, at Marcus McNeil 73 and at M McNeil 73 on Instagram. Greg on Twitter at Catch Camarillo. I'm at Matt Skraby. I'm the Joe of the show. So thanks everyone again. And we will be talking to you with some playoff matchups to preview next week. We got all that, and hopefully I won't say anything about Antonio Brown's pants.
Please
or anything like
don't scrape.
I told you. I made a mistake. Thinking
you can't even play our podcast within 200 yards of an elementary school.
This is true. There was a decision by a judge made after I made that comment. All right. Enjoy the weekend, everybody.